in a casual workshop setting and to listen to people who do that, who this is what they do. They do forensic, they do, if you will, an independent audit, a thorough audit. Instead of when the state does audits, they pick a little bit here, they pick a little bit there. They're not going through to make sure everything has been as it should be. And hopefully, best case scenario, if we hire somebody to do this, they will spend not that many hours, and they'll look through it and they'll say, you got no problems here. You got no problems whatsoever here. And that's what we'd love to hear. But when people are really resistant to this sort of stuff, they say, no, we don't need it, no, we don't want it, no, we don't have the money, that's a red flag right there too. Why would you not want to have an audit to say that everything is just fine and okay so that everybody can be at ease and know that there's been no foul play? There's been nothing that's gone on wrong. Why would you be against that? Why would anybody be against that?
Mr. Berry?
I don't think anybody's against it. I think that's kind of ridiculous to accuse us of being against it. I think what we're saying is that this is an expensive proposition, and I'm wondering if anybody's even contacted, and Ms. Balance in particular, the State Legislative Audit Division to see about a more thorough investigative audit. They do that. They have found in people, if you read the paper recently, numerous people have been found and charged with legal issues on their budgets, city budgets. So the state is more than capable of doing that without us going outside and spending a lot of money for this without just on some whims of somebody. The last audit that we got from Mr. Pinnell was referring to, we were only dinged one time, and it certainly wasn't the police department. And that one ding that we got, we've taken care of. So I'm not sure where this is leading to, and I'm not sure what a workshop's going to accomplish outside of getting some CPAs in here to tell us that they can do it and it's going to cost us X thousands of dollars. But without any formal accusation, and I don't think there are any formal accusations out there. I think we're just going on supplement some guesses more than anything else. And so I'm not, and I've been, by voting, the way Ms. Balance put this, if I vote against this, then I'm suspect of covering up something. And I kind of resent that issue too, because it's saying, oh no, if you're saying no, then you're covering up something, and that's not it. We've been going through this tonight, even talking about not paying or not having the money for aerial photographs, $5,000, and there's better things to spend money on. And so I'm not sure all of a sudden we're going to spend, and I know this is going to be a lot more than $5,000 or $10,000 to do something on just somebody's hunch. And if there is a problem, let's go to the state first. They're the ones who started this audit. They know how to begin this, and they don't just pick and choose. They go through a pretty thorough investigative audit. They spend a lot of time in this office.
Yes, they do.
With that. So,
Mr. Raphael?
Well, I just finished reading the audit from 2010, December 31st, 2010, yesterday and today, and it's written in legalese. For some reason, I thought it would be much more understandable than that. But still, you could see that there were a number of issues that they took exception with, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'd like to know that it was all, whatever it takes, I'd like to know it was done right. That our finances, if nothing else, if we could get our finances in this city, it'd be great.
Barry?
Well, I actually compared this latest, and I don't know if anybody else had done this audit with the one that we got the year before, and it's basically boilerplate stuff. Literally, same thing, word for word for word for word. The differences are, of course, in the numbers, and in the one area where it says, we recommend that such and such needs to do such and such. There's one paragraph in there that is the key thing in that whole page, in that whole document, that we need to pay attention to. And that one issue was the CAPC.
Mr. DeVito?
I can't see bringing in CPAs who have a vested interest in employing themselves at the city's expenses. We've just got an audit. There's no red flags on the audit. There's some bookkeeping that needed to be done at the CAPC that's been addressed. That was the major complaint from the state auditor. It's a good audit. There were no criminal wrongdoings or anything. It's a matter of procedure, which we have addressed at the CAPC. This witch hunt is a waste of time. It's a waste of money. And to call it a forensic audit is impugning the integrity of the finance department and the people who work for this city. And the state auditor has signed off on it with no problems.
Mr. Parnell? I didn't just fall off the turnip truck, but I read one of the paragraphs in the report that Mr. Raphael was talking about, and it says that this audit report, apparently CAPC members from this table have assumed that everything has been taken care of, and that's not what the audit report says. It says it needs to be reviewed by the governing body, and I think there's a little bit more than just the CAPC action that needs to be addressed, and I think anything that we're doing, even contemplating, in all due respect to Ms. Balance's concern, I think until we sit down and follow the code, the state code, and reviewing the audit and addressing whether or not there are problems that need to be addressed, I think it's a moot point at this point in time, and we need, if we have a workshop at all, it needs to be sit down and do what the audit says, and that's review it as a governing body, which we've not done. Apparently everybody else thinks that they've done it on their own, and that therefore the governing body has done it, but I don't agree. Mr. Berry.
Two separate issues to my honored colleague, and I totally agree with what he's saying. We do need to possibly sit down and at a meeting or in a workshop and look over this audit. That's what we've always done in the past, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. What I was referring to was the item that we got dinged on there. I'm not saying that we need to pass over it or anything else. In respect to what Mr. Pennell was talking about, I'm totally in favor of having a workshop to go over the audit that was supplied by the State Legislative Audit Committee. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with having outside accountants come in here and make a presentation for something that we don't even know anything about.
Mr. Balance.
For the record, I am not necessarily interested in just the last year. I'm more interested in going back probably at least 5 years or so. There's been a lot of things on the audits that have been dinged, and there's been a lot of red flags, and so that's my concern. I really would like to know that things have been being done right, and be assured that things will continue to be done correctly and legally and above board. Thank you.
Okay. Was there a second to Ms. Balance's motion for a workshop?
There was a second.
All right. Okay. All right. So all in favor of workshop, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
No.
No.
Abstain.
3-3.
3-3. Okay, motion failed. All right, new business.
Motion to discuss item 1, new business parks resolution for grant.
Second.
Made and seconded. All right, you should have Mr. Pownell.
Before we go too far, and I don't want to get in the wrong wedge between my jockey shorts and my jeans, but we've been at this table attacked from all directions that we're trying to get into the parks business, and the only thing that I saw in the grant application is it needs the chief executive officer's signature sending it forward to apply for it. Could somebody explain why this table, after we've been told that we can't get into the parks business, we're now finally being asked to get involved?
Take it. Mr. Levine has the floor.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Mr. Parnell, every grant that has ever been applied for parks, and I think there's been probably a dozen, always the grantors ask for the chief executive officer or the city council to sign off on a resolution. Why that is, I've been told that it's because they feel that that is the governing body of the city. Beyond that, I don't have an answer. But that's what's required of the grant.
Just seems simple to me that as the chief executive officer with the department head requesting that they go forward, you know, I haven't seen too many other of these grant applications that showed up on our grant list coming before council before, so why start now with a department that we've been told we can't deal with?
Point of order. There's a big
State your
distinction
point.
between dissolving the Parks Commission and accepting a grant.
Okay. But apparently this grant came with a resolution. Is that correct,
That's
sir?
correct.
And that is part of the stipulation of the grant, that the resolution come before the city council, the mayor and the city council. Actually, that's what it states in the resolution. It's balanced.
Well, when I look at the resolution, I see one section that says, whereas Eureka Springs, Arkansas will sign a contract agreeing to provide the necessary resources to maintain this parking facilities for a period of 10 years. Okay, I'll repeat that. When I look at the resolution, I see a section that says, whereas Eureka Springs, Arkansas will sign a contract agreeing to provide the necessary resources to maintain this parking facilities for a period of 10 years. Well, we're told over and over and over at this table that the parks is autonomous and it's not to be a political football, and we also are aware that the Parks Department has their own revenue stream. So why should Eureka Springs, Arkansas sign a contract agreeing to provide the necessary resources to maintain this park and facilities for a period of 10 years?
I think you are providing the necessary resources by providing a parks commission.
Parks has a revenue source.
Correct.
Why
You are
does-
providing a parks commission that provides the maintenance.
Mr. Pownell?
Just got this package today, which is okay. I find it hard to believe that someone sent forward in the grant application a resolution as specific as this, since we got the resolution 2 or 3 days ago, first blank, and then we finally got it. Bruce, could you stand there and say that they sent a resolution with the grant application?
Oh,
since
absolutely.
We don't have it.
Absolutely.
All we have is your proposed response back for the application, and I'm not arguing for or against it.
I don't understand your question, Mr. Brownell. What are you asking me to swear
grant
that there is a
application,
resolution that
Where
goes
is
along
the
with this
grant
grant?
application that states that there has to be a resolution?
That was provided
signed?
at the last meeting.
Okay.
Yes, Diane?
I just want to state that all the grants that we have applied for throughout the years with Mayor Harrison and Mayor Joy is we always had a resolution from the council to submit an application. With every grant we have applied for, we had to do a resolution, and it's very standard, common practice where they send the form resolution with the packet. So that is part of the packet that the Game and Fish sent.
It says right here that certification of the chief executive officer, and it's already got the mayor's name typed in and the date and the co-sponsors, Parks and Recreation.
I took the
Commission.
liberty of doing that because I knew who our mayor
It
was
says it's
and
a
what
trail
date.
grant application. I can see it for other, whether it be planning or HDC or somebody else where we're doing, approving going forward and supporting a grant application. But again, this is one that we have people sitting at this table that say we're, getting into Parks business, and now all of a sudden it doesn't make any difference. And I just
May I
Okay.
start from the beginning, Mr. Parnell? Because I
Please
think
do.
you were
Clarify a
absent
lot
at
of
the
this, because
last
I'm starting to get
meeting.
upset about it.
At the last meeting, I brought everyone the original application that I believe the resolution was also attached to.
my apologies then.
That's
Go on.
okay. And what this was, we were offered an opportunity by the Arkansas Parks and Tourism, which is administering a grant that is funded by the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. We were extended an invitation to put in an application for a grant of up to $100,000 based on the fact that this grant was to help our tourism economy, economic development, and education of youth. And they thought of our parks because of the Lake Leatherwood City Park that we have out there, which has all those elements. We are a tourism town, our economic engine is tourism, and we also have programs already in place at our schools for youth to observe wildlife. And that is what the crux of this grant is for. We are asking for, if you'll turn to the budget page, we are asking for $6,000 to make fully handicapped accessible our existing bird blind. We're asking for $30,000 to build a bridge over a problem area of the creek, and that's also on your map, a problem area of the creek that makes it inaccessible to get across the south end of the lake at least 2 to 3 months of the year. This has been a constant maintenance problem, and we just have had to close the trail. Trail reroutes, many of our trails are steep. We have had a couple of trail builders come out and take a look, and they see some potential reroutes that will allow the less abled people to be able to walk that entire loop around Beecham Trail around the lake. So you see the lion's share of this grant is for maintenance issues. 2 small bird blinds. We are looking to put another bird blind that will observe transition birds on the east end of the lake. We also want to put one in the deep water area. We want to put observation platforms in and create a water trail where someone in a canoe or kayak